Welcome to Destined for Success. I'm your host, Jennifer Takagi, and today is Potapalooza Day. And I love Potapalooza Day because I get to meet so many amazing people that I probably wouldn't have encountered otherwise. And I get to bring them to you. Our next guest is Lynne Roe, and Lynne is a business growth specialist. Lynne, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me today.
I just really want to know how you show up in the world and how you became a business growth specialist.
Oh, how I became one? Well, I don't know.
Or why are you passionate about it? Like, why is this important?
I became a business growth specialist because I had grown several businesses before I became a specialist in helping others grow businesses. But working with other business owners is part of it. Kind of fits my mission for my life. I work with my mission is to help build people into outstanding leaders. And I do that with business owners to become outstanding leaders of their businesses. And the reason I do that is because when I help someone lead a business and grow their business, it's a ripple effect. They hire people and those people have the opportunity to send their kids to college or go out in their community and donate to whatever causes they think are important. And the business owners I work with, they also have the opportunity to make a difference in their communities. And I see it as, we each individually make contribution to our communities, but collectively we're a positive force. So I'm the center of this, or the beginning of this positive force in the world.
I was at an event several months ago, and this gentleman took the stage and said, "It's my mission to impact," I want to say he said, 1 billion lives.
Wow.
And I sat there and I was like, that's so out of my scope. I can't
Yeah.
even. But he broke it down a little bit and he said, as a coach, if I impact one life positively and they make a change, then that
Mhm.
one person could impact 10 more. And
Yeah.
those 10 could impact 10 more and 10 more. And you get to 1 billion pretty quickly.
Yes, you
And I
do.
was like, "Oh, okay, wait, I can wrap my head around that." Like, okay, yes. And I love start with you and it's going to grow into the community and then the community into the state and then the state into the country and then into the world and then we live in a better place.
We do. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. And I have done a lot of leadership development training myself and it's amazing when you share a message that resonates with the person and they actually believe that if they do one thing better or differently tomorrow, it will immediately start making a change and a shift. Like people think it
Mhm.
has to be huge, but it's like, no, just do one thing better
One
tomorrow and
thing.
everybody
Yep.
will notice.
Exactly. One thing at a time. You don't have to be doing it all. Business owners, they're a special breed because they have to lead the business with clear direction and comprehensive strategy and whatever they need to actually grow the business. But then they also have to lead their team with smooth communications, clear roles, responsibilities, and they have to set all that out. And then they have to lead themselves to become the CEO of the business as opposed to just the doer, the person who does the stuff, right? So as a business is growing, as the business owner is growing, well, actually, I was going to say, as the business is growing, the business owner has to grow themselves as well.
Or there are going to be consequences for choosing not to.
Absolutely.
And they're
Well,
not going to be good.
no,
Nothing
they're
good
not.
comes from that.
They're not going to be good. And the common one is they just can't grow anymore. They can't get to where they want to be because they're hustling, they're doing all the work, they're overwhelmed. They're losing their family, they're losing their friends, they haven't taken a vacation. All of that happens because they haven't been leading the business and leading a team. Most of them don't have a team yet. And then leading themselves. So yeah.
So can we take a minute on that leading selves piece? Because I have done training for the great state of Oklahoma. I'm in Oklahoma City. And one of them is transitioning into a leadership position, a management position. And one of the things we talk about is leading self, leading others. There's a third one, and the fourth one is leading a change initiative. So, my personal opinion, I'd love to hear yours, is that leading self is probably the most critical piece of all of this. Because if you lead yourself well and with integrity, and you show up as the evolved, you know, appropriate boss and leader, then you have the capacity to learn, if you don't already know it, learn how to do the other pieces. So, can you speak to that a little bit and what leading self means to you?
So yes, I can speak. I will speak to that a little bit. So as a business owner, very often, since I work with small business owners, those are the people that I really interact with the most, and can help the most. And one of the things is that you have to, you said integrity, but you have to do what you said you were going to do, when you said you were going to do it, in the way you said you were going to do it. And you have to do that with yourself too. And that's one of the problems that a lot of people have, is they tell themselves, oh, I'm going to make 10 phone calls tomorrow. And then they don't make the 10 phone calls tomorrow. And now they're out of integrity with themselves. So making the decisions to do something, you have to be careful what you're agreeing to do, even with yourself. And then you have to make sure that you follow through on it. And it's the consistency of following through that gives you the courage to keep going, and also the self-confidence to keep going.
So along that's I love this so much. I'm looking down because I'm writing. I do a lot of mindset work and energy healing work also with my clients. And that idea of making a promise to yourself or a commitment and not following through,
Mhm.
you set your subconscious mind up to believing that you don't do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah,
So then when you're trying to dig deep to make it happen, because it's really important, internally you don't have the right things in place.
yeah,
So if you say, I'm going to wake up at 7 in the morning and I'm going to do these three things every day, and you don't do any of them, or you do one or two
right.
half-assed or whatever, your subconscious mind picks up on that and it just bleeds everywhere.
Yeah, it's all about building trust. And we talk about building trust with others, and I do a whole workshop on that with people. And in order to build trust with others, it starts with you trusting them. But to build trust, you also have to trust yourself. And if you can't trust yourself, how can you trust anybody, right?
And growing a business, that's a big deal. Do I trust myself to
Mhm.
take on this responsibility
Yep.
that I say that I want?
Yep.
I I
Exactly.
I was on a call with a gal. She did on Mondays. I don't know if she still does, but she had us do a little journaling, and she was like, "Okay, if you got two new clients, what would that look like? How would you feel? How would you respond? What changes would you have to make?" And we got to the end of the exercise, and I was like, "Screw it! I don't want 10 clients. Like that no longer fits what I want." I did find out how I do actually want way more than 10 clients and how I'm going to do that. But at the time, it was like, I don't know how to manage that. Like I don't know.
Right.
I don't know how to
Right.
make that happen.
And that's a problem often with people I work with. Like, I want to grow, but oh my God, how do I, if I get those many new clients in, how am I going to manage them all? I don't have time for all of that. And that's a piece of, you have to manage the business, right? That's a part of leading the business, is figuring out how you're going to manage all those new clients when you bring them in.
Exactly. So for me, like I'm a one woman shop and I'm the one who does the work with the clients. And I was like, wait, if I had 10 clients and they all wanted a call in the same week, that's 30 hours of client work. Yeah, I don't want that. And then I
Right.
talked to somebody and they said, well, you have a calendar. They book the call based on your availability. And I was like, oh, okay, like I can
Yeah.
totally do that. That means I may not have 30 calls that are an hour each in 1 week.
Right.
Okay, okay, this is a whole different story. Okay, I can put on my big girl panties. I can do this. So sometimes you don't know like what is it going to look like, and that's
Right.
scary.
Right. And very often when clients say, "Oh, I want 10 new clients," and I'll say, "That's great. Now what's going to happen when you do that? Because you've got to put other systems in place to be able to manage those 10 new clients, right? One of them being in your case, a way for people to book with you. And that then means you've got to make sure your calendar is always up to date with all your personal stuff as well as your business stuff. Because if it isn't, now you're double booking, and that becomes a whole other challenge.
I
So
just on one of my interviews today, I she was mentioning the importance of calendar, and I said, yeah, I need to reach out and have somebody help me because my
yeah,
personal calendar on my Google account is not buffering time in. So somebody booked a podcast interview, great, but I'm having surgery in 10 days and I have a pre-op appointment. Well, it
yeah,
didn't build any time for me to get to the pre-op appointment or get home.
yep.
And so I had to break down. I hated to do it, but I had to break down and just reschedule
Yeah,
the meeting because I don't know if it's going to work. So that's a problem with my strategy. And
it's a problem.
I've bumped up to it a time or two, but I know it's something I need to do in my Google Calendar.
I finally got to the point where I now schedule in travel time for anything that isn't from the office, you know, travel time for everything. And now anytime anything goes on my calendar, it also gets a travel time attached to it.
Oh,
I
and
wish
that's
Google
excellent.
would make it so that it did that automatically.
And even if you're doing it at home on Zoom,
Yep.
if I finish with you as a client, I might need to take a breath
Yeah.
before I
Buffer
start the
time.
next one.
Buffer time.
Totally, buffer
Exactly.
time. So, what are some keys or strategies you can share with me? I mean, audience, I hope you're getting great things for this, but at this moment, it's all about me. Like, how can you help me even more, Lynn? I've already gotten some ideas.
Um, so I think the most important thing is to have a plan for how you're going to get to where you want to get to. So, and that's really where I start with all of my clients. We create a strategic plan for growing their business to where they want it to be. And that strategic plan starts with what's the lifestyle that you want to be living? And let's design your plan so that you can live that lifestyle that you want. And then we bring that back from, all right, 10 years, this is where we're going to be. This is what lifestyle I want. This is the business I need to have. Where do I need to be in 3 years? And in order to be there in 3 years, where do I need to be this year? And then we bring that back to what am I doing each quarter? What am I doing each month? And what that does is it takes that spaghetti of ideas that you have in your head. Oh my God, I got all these things, all these great ideas I want to do, and I don't know how to get it all done. And how am I going to incorporate all of that, right? You've got this giant spaghetti bowl of ideas in your head. But what that does is it takes that spaghetti bowl of ideas and it lays it out for you over time. And all of a sudden you're calm, like, I know how to do this. I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this. And then in 2 months, I do this next step. And then eventually it's all, and you're like, oh, okay, I can get it done. And when something new comes along, because there's always something new that comes along, right? A new opportunity or something doesn't work the way you thought it would, no problem. You either just plunk it in where you've got some space on this nice calendar, right? This nice laid out plan of what you're going to do. Or you say, you know what? I can take this piece out and put this other thing in, and that'll work. So it doesn't add stress. It actually takes away stress because you've got it all figured out how you're going to do it.
I am in a mastermind group with Brendan Bouchard, his ultra group. And at the March 1st, 2024 training, he said, sometimes the answer is not this year.
Yeah.
Like, I want to add that, I want to do it, but it doesn't fit this year. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. I just need to not put my focus on accomplishing that this year. And
Right.
it was like, wow, that's really big.
It is. And but you don't want to lose those ideas either. So those get put, when I do this with people, those get still put onto your plan.
Yes,
You
of
know, if it's
course.
not this year, it's next year or the year after, or, you know, we kind of place where we think it might end up being. Because,
Right.
you know, the world does change, so you can't have exact,
But
but
there's a place marker for it, even
it's
if
a
it
place.
shifts.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. So you got the strategic plan, you got your leading yourself, how to lead your people, how to grow your team.
Yeah.
Give me one more big thing. I know it's coming.
Systems.
See, I
Systems
know
is a
it's
big thing.
coming.
Because the more systems you can put in place, the quicker things happen, the more smoothly they happen, and it just takes all the stress and strain of trying to get your work done when you've got some systems in place. So it's putting those systems in place, have your plan, think and build your team. Yeah. And think like a CEO, because that's what you need to do is start thinking like the CEO of your business, not I'm the person who does the stuff business part of your business, right? So instead of saying, okay, I need to do I want this to get done. How do I get it done? How do I find time in my calendar for that? No, you start thinking, who can do this for me?
What is that book? Who Not How?
Who, not how. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
great, I highly recommend that book.
Yeah, it's really a good one. But when you talk about systems, it's kind of funny. I had a program I was kind of feeling my way through about offering, and I was ready to offer it. And I thought I had the whole landing page, the email sequencing, everything set up, and how to book on the calendar, right? Pay me and book on the calendar.
Yeah,
And I was just one step away and I thought, man, I'm not ready. And it was like, oh, what limiting belief, what fear do I have? Was it turned out I was missing one piece of my funnel that had to be there or none of it would connect. And it
yeah.
was like, yeah, that was not fear. That was intuition saying something's not quite right.
Something not
I'm
altogether yet.
really, really not ready.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
those are kind of big
Exactly.
things, but I love this. We've kind of covered a whole lot of gamut, but I want to
Yeah.
go back to your mission because that was so powerful. You want to build people into outstanding leaders because it's a ripple
Outstanding leaders
effect.
of outstanding businesses. Because by doing that, everybody wins.
That is so good. And you told me you have a free gift for the audience.
I do have a free gift for your audience. It's an ebook called Five Keys to Success. And it's all about the things that entrepreneurs should be thinking about when they're growing a business. And secret, there's actually 10 in there, not five. Because I did the first
Ooh,
five
you
and then I
snuck
thought,
some in.
I know, that's right. I did the first five and I thought, well, wait a minute, there's five more that are really great. So there's really 10 on there.
It's really cute because Kimberly Crow talks about she gives a talk and it's the four stages every speaker
Yeah.
needs to get on. And then she's like, but wait, there's a secret fifth stage. So I've got the five keys, but there are five more hidden keys.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right, and we're gonna find those at Lynn's. I turned to the wrong page. Sorry.
I'll do it.
At
Lynne,
lynn'sfreegift.com, and it's LYNNES freegift.com. It
yes,
will be in the show notes. So all of you who are on your phone saying, but I'm on my phone, no problem. No problem at all. Just go to the show notes. It's on your phone. It's right there. You can get it. lynn'sfreegift.com. This has been awesome, Lynn.
thank you so much for having me today.
Do you have any final words for our audience before we sign off?
Um, I do. What gets you to where you are now will keep you where you are. If you want to get to a higher level, you have to make a change. So lead yourself to grow yourself so you can get to the higher level of your business.
Oh my gosh, that's a perfect way to end it. Thank you so much, and thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
I'm Jennifer Takagi with Destined for Success, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.